Hi, I'm Jajaira Gonzalez, 2024 Olympian. Growing up was very, I would say strict. It was strictly boxing, school, work with my mom, and home. My dad was very strict. I wasn't allowed to go to parties. I wasn't allowed to go to friends' house. I wasn't allowed to go to school dances, school football games. It did used to bother me a lot when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I'm kind of grateful because I feel now that it kind of kept me out of trouble, I guess you can say, and more dedicated to the sport as well.
Oh, she's so sweet. I mean, she was so sweet. As a coach, you want your fighter to be so, I always instigated her, you know what I mean? Like, oh, look, the girl said she's gonna beat you. No, she's not. Yeah, she looking, so that's kind of, I don't call instigator, I call matchmaker, But, she was so sweet. She's still, got good heart, sweetie,
What it was like to grow up with Jajaira as my younger sister, it was very fun. We didn't treat her like a girl, we treated her very much like a boy. I was her first sparring partner and I didn't go easy on her. I definitely, got my licks in it and toughened her up for sure.
It was kind of tough sometimes because, it was hard being in the gym getting beat up by a girl, which is my older sister, but growing up with her was really cool because I always felt like she was kind of my bodyguard, keeping me safe from my older brothers and getting beat up. And we have a close relationship more than now than before.
Jajaira was an absolutely lovely young woman, and even though, she was out occasionally because of her boxing career, but she always did her work when she was out and away, even in Bulgaria.
She was a presence that was bigger than life. She's always been a very humble person, a very gracious person. Her work ethic and her discipline was immeasurable. I think she knew from the beginning what her aspirations were. She's always been very humble and hungry for what we're so proud of now.
My dad got me into boxing. He actually forced me into the sport when I was 8 years old. He boxed when he was younger, couldn't really pursue it as a career, and my two older brothers, they decided they wanted to box. So my dad was taking them to the gym, coaching them, and then one day he just came home with the idea that he wanted me to box.
I put Jajaira in boxing, not because I wanted, it's because the time I got my two boys training and I don't have nobody to babysit. My wife was working, so I don't have nobody to babysit Jajaira, so I take to the gym. One time a little kid got there and say, what she doing there in the gym? No, the gym is not for girls. So she got kind of sad. And man told me she wants to spar with the boy. So I said, okay, you want to spar, you need to train hard, train. And that was a promise, So we started training. She started sparring with the brothers. In the beginning, they went a little bit harder on her, but she never quit. She was crying and she still was throwing punches. So I said, okay, well, you want to spar? But she wants to spar the boy. Maybe a couple weeks, three or 4 weeks. I said, you ready to spar the boy? He went hard on her, but she just started pounding the kid. So she made the quit.
So I was forced to go to the gym, and I hated it for the first couple of years, especially because there wasn't any fights for me. Not a lot of females were boxing at that point. So the training that I was doing, I would go to shows and I would never get matched up with anybody. So I kind of just felt why am I still doing this? I think what really changed was me being finally competing, being matched up with other females and realizing I was really good because I was TKOing my other opponents. And I just kind of really liked how hard my dad would push me in the gym and how hard I felt I was working, and then just to be rewarded with the win from my competition.
All the girls she fought, she was stopping, she got good confidence. Yeah, right from the beginning I said, you can be the champion, you can, hey, if you want.
When she had her first fight, she did really well. Second fight did really well, and then she had her third fight and so on and so forth, and she just started stopping all these girls in the first, second round. And from that moment on, I knew that she had the potential and she was different from the rest.
Having my dad as my coach was a huge blessing. I believe, because, you know, you can have coaches and stuff, but I feel like no one's gonna push you as hard as your father. Since he was my dad, he pushed me to like my fullest potential, my best potential, even when I didn't feel like doing things at certain times. My dad always pushed me to my limit, and it made me the fighter that I am.
They know when I'm here, I'm the coach. When I'm home, I'm the father. You know, I'm here the coach, friend. I try to not be the father, because it's not gonna help them. So I mean, in the beginning it was hard. It was hard. We had to adjust a couple things, you know. But that was hard in the beginning. But now, I try to be the coach in here. And when we get home, sometimes we don't talk anymore about boxing. Everything is balanced and control, you know what I mean? The coach as a father, as a friend, you know.
So I was just competing and like fighting at tournaments, you know, just like with my dad. But when I was 15, I went to a national tournament in Reno, Nevada. And mind you, there wasn't a lot of girls boxing either. So there was only 6 of us girls that were there. And only my weight class, which is 125 at that point, was the only one that had 2 girls. So I was the only one that had a fight. And I won. And I got on the team. 16, I went to my first camp. We went to Finland. I stopped my opponent. And then after that, we went to our worlds, our first world tournament in Bulgaria, and I got gold. And then from there, you know, just the next nationals, I was on the team as a youth. I went to another worlds, I went to youth Olympic games. You know, went to like other tournaments, but I was just bringing back nothing but gold. The Olympics were always the goal for me once I realized that women were allowed to compete, because they weren't allowed to compete until 2012. So before then, I don't really think I was thinking much of what I wanted to do like in the sport, but once that got introduced, like I told myself like I want to go to the Olympics.
We just tried to be just number one, you know. And then when she started going to camp, you know, and then do that, it's okay. And then she said she wants to go to the Olympics. I said, well, let's do it. I told everybody, all my fighters, all the little kids, and said, you can be whatever you want. You just need to want it. You need to sacrifice a lot of things in order to be good, to be somebody.
Balancing school and boxing during high school was hard, but I think I made a choice, and the choice was boxing all the time. So I didn't really care if I didn't finish my schoolwork, because at the time, boxing and making weight and performing was more important to me, and I just always thought like, okay, like I could get back to my schoolwork. But I had fell behind and was failing a few classes. I had to get homeschooled my junior year, that was hard. My senior year, I had to take an extra class, and I had to do night school for 8 weeks just so I can catch up on my credits. So that was difficult as well, but it was definitely very doable. But I continued to choose boxing.
It was difficult sometimes because, you know, teachers were wondering, you know, was she sacrificing her priorities? But those weren't sacrifices, those were investments. And I think the life skills that she was learning at that time and the social emotional skills that she was learning at that time is immeasurable. And then she'd come back, and given that she was well versed and she was wiser for those life experiences, the impression that she made on the people that she came in contact with makes them want to strive for the same greatness that she's accomplishing.
She's my first female boxer that I know, and I was so impressed with the fact that this young woman was taking on a sport that was historically dominated by males. I thought that was extremely cool, and it was even more interesting to know that she was locally trained and was experiencing in her sophomore year of high school so much success.
I remember like my friends and teachers in school just used to think like me boxing and traveling the world was like so badass. When I graduated, I actually wore my youth Olympic gold medal, and everyone thought that was so cool. Like they all wanted to see it.
You could just see the fortitude, the courage, and not just the physical strength, but the mental strength that she had. I just always was admiring of and inspired of her purpose. She knew her why early, and she's a force to be reckoned with. Like you weren't going to deny her of what was her ultimate prize.
She wants to do something, she can do it. That's what I see in her.
Transitioning into elite was actually very easy for me. I had to go, qualify for trials, and I was dominating my opponents that were elite already. I was only 18, 19 years old. And when I got to trials, I knew I had to beat one specific person, and I fought that person 3 times. I lost, I lost the first fight against her on a split decision. I felt like I won. A lot of people felt like I won. But I had to keep staying sharp for the rest of the tournament because it was like double elimination. So I worked my way back up to the winning bracket, fought her again in what was supposed to be the final, won unanimously. They extended the tournament an extra day because we were like 1-1. Fought her again, same exact way, and I lost on a split. So I just kind of felt very defeated because I knew like I deserved to win. It took me a long time to like process that and like get over it because it kind of made me hate the sport for a little bit because I just felt like hard as you work, like it can still get taken away from you. So there was like a little depression point that I went through where I was just like, why am I working so hard if this can happen again? I got ready for nationals for like 2 weeks. I was struggling to make weight, and I guess I kind of got big-headed where I was thinking like, nobody's gonna beat me. Like I don't have to work as hard. Like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sweep this tournament and I'm gonna be on the team and I'll be okay. But I lost to somebody that I had TKO'd 3 times before, and I lost on a split. And it was my fault. I wasn't serious at the time. I was just kind of taking it for granted. So that kind of depressed me. Mentally, I wasn't at my best, and I had like family issues, and my boyfriend at the time, I had issues with that. So everything was just kind of not okay for me. I just really felt alone, and I wasn't motivated to train or anything. And I decided I wanted to take a year off, and then COVID happened, and I was having family issues, so I didn't feel comfortable moving back into the house. So I just moved all my stuff to Virginia with my boyfriend at the time. And I gained like 30, 35 pounds. That was depressing as well. Like I wasn't sleeping properly. I was just being lazy. It was very dark, very, very depressing, very lonely. I would cry myself to sleep a lot. My anxiety was like over the roof. My cousin was really the one that knows everything and seen everything.
My relationship with Jajaira is, I can't even describe it. It's amazing, great. I have really good communication with Jajaira. I feel blessed. I feel good that I can say I'm one of the persons Jajaira trusts the most. Supporting her is, I would always tell her, I cannot wait for you to go back in the ring. You need to go back in the ring. She's like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. No, you gotta go back in the ring. I can't wait until she finally just moved back to California and went back in the ring. I said, dude, I knew it. She's like, what if I'm not good anymore? What if I'm not, I can't. Like, no, dude, like you have to do it. Like, this is what you were born for. You gotta do it.
I was just sitting there, and the days were easy, but it was like boring. And a lot of people would tell me, because I'd be a kickboxing instructor and I would like punch, and they would always tell me like, oh, like you're really good. Like your form's really good. And I'm in the back of my mind like, yeah, like I used to box for Team USA, but I never would really say anything. But that specific moment was when I was checking people into the class, waiting to get class started, and I was like scrolling through Instagram, and I seen USA Boxing's post. They were in Spain, and I've always wanted to go to Spain. I was like, wow, like I should be there. And that's really where I was like, I need to get back. And I missed it too. I missed it a lot.
When she take a break about him, when she say, I said, I don't mind. If that's for good, I don't mind. Relax, see what happened. But I told, look back. I don't want you to go back, but look back what mistake you did. And see you can fix it, that you don't make those mistakes again. But yeah, that was concern. I don't she take care, I don't mind, I support, whatever she say, whatever she do, She take a break. No, she didn't want to box anymore. She was so depressed, but at the same time, I was feel kind of bad, because that was not helping her, That was helping, and as a father, I want the best for my kids.
It made her stronger because, a lot of people in the media, you know how the media is. They talk. They just didn't believe in her. They thought she wasn't gonna do anything. They thought she wasn't good at the sport and stuff. So I feel like all the criticism is what brought her to where she is now.
She was a different fighter when she first started, and the time she took off, I think it was an up and down roller coaster because she got to see how much of a different fighter she could become. Yeah, she's not stopping as many girls as she used to, but she's found a different style and a different way to win and these fights that she has now.
Jajaira overcoming these struggles, it builds a person. You could either let it make it or break you, and it definitely made Jajaira who she is today. And it made her work even harder to become an Olympian and want it more. She knew that at one point she lost everything, and it made her work even twice as hard as she did before to get everything back, and now she's here.
No matter what anybody says or does to her, she's gonna go and do what Jajaira wants to do, and in any way she can. She wants to be the best version of herself, and she's not afraid to lose people along the way, and she's gonna continue to be successful whether you're with her or you're not.
Her comeback to boxing, of course I'm her strength and conditioning coach, but a lot of it is mental. She might not even realize it. I'm big on the mindset and what that is and how that attributes to anything in life. And in her case, it's boxing. And just seeing her grow with that and the contribution that I put into that, putting different questions into her head she might not even realize, and making her think about things. The process wasn't easy because, like she said, she is 30 pounds, a little bit heavier. So, the beginning was a struggle, and it's a struggle for anyone, when you're getting back into things. I kept on telling her, just listen to your body, just keep pushing yourself. When your body tells you it's time to stop, it's time to stop. But a lot of that was just more mental to see if she truly listened to her body, if it was the mental part that, let me push through this. Once she got the diet under control, she was eating the right foods and following, what she knows to make weight and come down. I think it all clicked together at the same time.
Well, I have known Coach Milo for years. Right? It's been years, but I didn't really know him. I'm very grateful that he opened the doors for me as well, despite not really knowing me. He's waking up 4 in.the morning, giving me workouts. He got me ready for nationals. He was part of the comeback as well. I can talk to Coach Milo about things that I'm going through or things that are bothering me, and he gives me the best advice that he can and kind of make me more level-headed. So I'm honestly grateful for Coach Milo as well because of all that.
Anyone that has struggles or goes through anything and could come out of it is going to make you stronger. It's always easy to be on top, but when you get knocked down and then you try to get back up, that's a true test. With that being said though, if you have the right support system, which I think she does have now, it's just more enjoyable and it's going to make anybody stronger.
My mindset going into Pan American Games was super strong. I was so excited, I was so ready, I wasn't nervous, and I just told myself after this I will be an Olympian. And I just, was just so positive and just so hungry, so motivated that mentally I was super strong. So my first fight I fought Canada and I stopped her in the first round. That was definitely a bit of a confidence boost. And it felt great starting the tournament off like that, but I still wasn't done. So then I fought Uruguay, and it was a good fight, but I started to have fun. And I feel when you're in there, you have to have fun. You can't be so tense. So I started to have fun, especially in the last round. And that was the fight that qualified me for Paris. I was so happy. But it didn't hit me. I didn't cry or anything. I think I cried the next day. I was listening to a specific song And I was just like, wow, like I qualified, like I did it. But it was like a quick little tear, and then I snapped out of it, and I was like, I still have to fight. I fought Brazil. She is a 2020 Olympic silver medalist. And a lot of people thought I was gonna be like nervous to fight her, but I don't fear anyone. So I was just really excited to get in there with somebody that I, in my mind, was like, I'm gonna beat her, like I can beat her. And she surprised me a little bit because when the first round started, I seen her like try to swing a hook and I blocked it. But when I blocked it and she hit my glove, there was so much power behind that hook that I remember in my mind thinking like, damn, like she hits hard. Like, why is she so strong, right? But that still didn't like scare me. I was just like, okay, you hit hard, I hit harder. Like, so we were going at it and I lost on a split decision, but I feel like she knows, just like I know, that I can beat her. I just gotta fix a few little things here and there, and you know, we're gonna get her in Paris.
When I saw Jajaira qualify for the Olympics, I was at work. You know, I couldn't think. I was just crying and in front of everybody. You know, I was just really happy for her because she's been through a lot over the years, and that's a dream that she never gave up on. And at times, people had given up on her, and she overcame a lot to accomplish that dream. And she came a long way from losing in the previous Olympic qualifiers, and you know, I was unfortunate, but she's back now.
Just the excitement and the joy that I felt for her, and how proud I was of her, because I know what she went through and I know what she had to deal with to come back. And just to see her and her smile when she got her hand raised and qualified, man, I was just very, very, very proud.
I didn't see the fights. Anytime I tried to see, I was working. And I didn't know that was, if she win the fight, she qualified, you know. When they call me and they say, hey, Jajaira qualified, yeah, she's an Olympic. I still don't believe. And then when I started looking at Instagram, it's about, hey, first qualified for Jajaira Gonzalez. Wow. I started crying. I said, what? She made it.
Representing the United States at the Olympics is everything. I feel like not a lot of people can say they're Olympians. So the fact that I can actually say that, it still doesn't feel real, you know, but it's definitely a blessing, and I'm very excited and just super grateful for the opportunity.
Jajaira, I know you can do it. When you're at 100%, nobody beats you, and you know that yourself, you're gonna get this. There's nothing that can stop you. The only person that can stop you is you, and that's not even gonna happen. So go out there and get that gold for everybody and for yourself most of all.
Jajaira, you have to be dedicated 100% right now, and you know, don't let anything or anyone distract you. Ignore the noise and stay focused on you, because at the end of the day, it's just you in there, nobody else. And you know, go out there and win that gold.
Just continue to fight that good fight. Fight with that joy and that love in your heart that you have for the people that matter, because you matter. We're proud of you.
I am in awe of your success as a female athlete, and I am going to be watching the television and scouring USA Boxing and the Olympic websites to follow your path as you go through the summer at the Olympic Games. I wish you all the best.
I just want to say to Jajaira that I love her very much. She's not only my family member, she's also my best friend. And I cannot wait to see her up in the Olympics.
I hope that she stays committed and stays true to herself and keeps herself number one. And being number one doesn't mean being selfish, you know. It's about doing what you could do for yourself to make things happen in the future. So stay strong and get the gold.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of her. I'm proud because she proved to me, she proved to everybody she can do it. And she proved herself. I want she goes there and get the gold medal and prove everybody she's number one in the world. And I know she can do it.
Bringing back a gold medal for the United States in Paris 2024 would be the ultimate gift, not only to me, but to my father, my family, and everyone that's kind of helped me out along the way, because like it can't get better than that, you know? All the hard work, all the sacrifices, all the hard times, it's like they're gonna pay off. And I honestly feel in my heart, in my mind, everything that I do that I'm gonna bring back that gold medal.